Take a look at this. The player on the left averaged these numbers, while the player on the right averaged these numbers. They both made $7 million per year. Same here. The player on the left made $13 million, while the player on the right made $7. And this even happened here. The player on the left made $17 million, whereas the one on the right made $12. What does every player on the right have in common? They all got their contract from Michael Jordan. Yes, the same iconic Michael Jordan you always hear about, the ultimate trump card in every debate. For many, the greatest to ever play. But you already know about Mike's legendary playing career. Somehow, Jordan managed to show the world that it is possible to be the best player in the world and simultaneously the worst general manager in the league. Jordan has painfully mismanaged the Charlotte Hornets since purchasing a minority stake in the team in 2006. But Jordan's cringeworthy record as a decision maker goes back even further than that. In 2000, amid his Ernest's second retirement, the Wizards concluded, hey, wouldn't it be a brilliant idea to let Jordan control all of the team's personnel decisions? His first big decision came in the 2001 draft. I'm Frank Smith, and today we dissect Michael Jordan's front office failures, a ClutchPoints original mini-documentary. Now, the Wizards had the first overall pick, and as most teams with the first overall pick, they were searching for a franchise-altering player. Jordan selected Kwame Brown out of high school, who has gone down as possibly the worst number one pick in NBA history. Looking at you, Anthony Bennett. That's pretty much his legacy in Washington. The Kwame pick overshadows his short stint playing for the franchise. Busted picks would become a theme in Mike's front office life. With his first pick in Charlotte, Jordan's group selected Adam Morrison at number 3. Morrison was a star in college, but neither his game or his mustache translated to the pros. His career would only last 4 years. Nevertheless, Jordan was still drafting busts left and right with highly valuable picks. MJ would trade away Gerald Wallace, who claimed he loved playing for the team and was a pretty solid player. He flipped Wallace for 3 players, none of whom did anything for the Bobcats. Basically, his Ernest traded a crowd favorite for air, and the air was toxic. Feeling sick yet? There's more. Jana Diop played 8 seasons in the NBA before Jordan traded for him. In those seasons, Diop never averaged more than 2.9 points per game. Jordan looked at 2.9 points per game as some sort of positive harbinger, and decided it would be a good investment despite having to pay this man $7 million per year. Diop played 4 seasons for the Bobcats and never averaged more than 1.3 points, or even a block per game. Meanwhile, Jordan could have saved that money and signed either Trevor Ariza or Metta World Peace for under $7 million that summer. Ouch. Jordan is worth $1.9 billion today. You'd think that someone with this much cash would be ready to throw some money around, a la Steve Ballmer, and get a star to come play in Charlotte. But Jordan is known throughout the league for being one of the cheapest owners. The Hornets are the only team in the league who have never paid the luxury tax. Not because of some tax loophole, but because they've never had a payroll high enough to trigger the tax. To be fair, while Jordan is a billionaire, he's an owner in a league that features billionaires a few times over. $1.9 billion is a lot of money to us normal folk who are out here fighting for the ClutchPoints challenge cash. But the elite of the NBA aren't fazed by $1.9 billion. This, if we're being polite, stinginess was seen in the 2019 offseason. Kemba Walker, Jordan's greatest accomplishment as a GM, became Charlotte's greatest player. Walker expressed his desire to remain with the franchise, which is rare for a player of his quality. He even claimed he would take less than the supermax that only the Hornets could offer him. But MJ wouldn't pony up the cash for Walker, and he was left to sign with the Boston Celtics. The team lost their talisman, and Jordan cut ties with the player who had potential to become a franchise legend. Sadly, Charlotte fans are even more scared when Jordan does open up his wallet. Tyrese Thomas was given a 5-year, $40 million contract after 4 so-so seasons in Chicago. The Hornets took on half of Bismack Biyombo's massive $72 million contract from the Magic, despite the fact that Biyombo showed nothing to warrant anything much higher than a minimum contract. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who Jordan selected with the second overall pick in 2012, had already played 3 years in the league and established he would be nothing more than a productive role player at best when he hit free agency in 2016. Jordan gave him a 4-year, $52 million deal. So for years, the team has been stacked with overpaid players who can't live up to the size of their contract, and young players who don't live up to the hype. The one exception was Kemba, but as we mentioned before, Jordan didn't want to keep him around. The departure of Walker sent the team into full rebuild mode, doomed to another losing season. Speaking of losing records, Jordan had plenty of them when he's not actually in uniform. Remember, Jordan's unforgettable, goated career ended in 2003, but his forgettable tenure as GM from 2006 to 2019 led to just 3 winning seasons, all barely breaking 500. And all 3 times, the team lost in the first round, and it hasn't looked too pretty since. Huge thanks to all who watched, and to the tremendous team at ClutchPoints who produced this. I'm Frank Smith. You can follow me at FMS_Frank Smith, and follow ClutchPoints at ClutchPoints. Another side note, if you're not subscribing to us on YouTube, you're missing out. All of our best content is here. If you love our pages on IG and Facebook, I can guarantee you'll love the YouTube channel. Until next time.